So today I was looking into something called cargo cults. A cargo cult, according to Wikipedia, is a movement encompassing a diverse range of practices and occurring in the wake of contact with the commercial networks of colonizing societies. The name derives from the belief that various ritualistic acts will lead to bestowing of material wealth, or cargo. So really what's happening in the real world is a war is going on, and these people happen to just reside near where this conflict is happening, and it's a small village, a third world country type setup in which they've never seen anything outside of their own village, never seen an airplane, have no idea what an airplane is, and somehow contact is made with these people from the developed countries, such as America. So either America comes in and assists these people for a short time and brings them food and supplies and takes care of them and then disappears, or something happens like a crate full of supplies drops from a plane mistakenly on their island and feeds the entire village. Either way, the villagers end up believing that the aid is coming from supernatural means that are directly tied to the USA. Most of the time, they don't see the USA itself as the supernatural aid. They see the USA as an example of a nation that understands how to utilize this supernatural aid. They believe that we understand something that they don't, and that our rituals, which I'll show you in a second, are what is bringing us all of our wealth. The white people show up with food and supplies, and when they need more food and supplies, or if some of their equipment breaks or something goes wrong, the white people, who we know have been sent down there to give aid, and that's very obvious, but to them, the white people would do something ritualistically in their perspective, such as a phone call or writing saying, hey, we need more supplies. They don't even understand that system, the mail system. So that type of thing would be a ritual to them. That's the type of thing that they are now trying to duplicate in order to get the type of riches we're getting. So what happens is they basically make America into a deity that they worship and that they ask for mercy from. They're essentially praying to America. And they set up shrines that are set up after our own culture, such as planes that they made out of bamboo, not planes that fly, but the shape of planes, because they saw planes flying over. Members of their own communities walking in lines, carrying sticks, kind of like our soldiers would. The marching and the formations, they don't understand why we do that. They would see that as a ritual, and that's something that they are trying to do themselves to get the type of riches that we enjoy. They've even built their own runways out of bamboo, obviously unusable to any real planes, but they don't understand that. They sit along the runways almost begging the United States planes to come back. Now sometimes, if they're lucky, by act of coincidence, another crate will fall. There will be another conflict or another war that'll have nothing to do with what they're doing and nothing to do with them at all. But a crate will fall and they'll get some supplies and it will reinforce their beliefs. Even though it's very obvious to the rest of us that it wasn't the praying and the shrines and the rituals that got them that crate of supplies. It was just chance. They got lucky again. But how can we blame them? I mean, can they really be called a cult? They really didn't understand. And don't we do the same thing in our own sense? Let's think about this for a second. Remember when that Noah movie came out and all the Christians were livid because it didn't go off of the original story in the Bible? And it caused a great deal of debate about the Noah's Ark story. And many brought up the fact that they've supposedly found Noah's Ark, or what they think was Noah's Ark. They found a boat in the area that they think Noah's Ark happened. But just because they found a boat, just because they found a crate, does that really mean that what they think put the boat or crate there really put the boat or crate there? A few times I've been brought the argument about the Moses splitting the water, splitting the Red Sea story. And they say that they found chariots and bodies and what they think is evidence at the bottom of the Red Sea that there was a splitting of the Red Sea, when really they only found bodies and chariots parts and such at the bottom of the sea. It wasn't any proof that the Red Sea was split, it was just coincidence. And we don't even really know where those bodies came from, but we have no proof of the Red Sea splitting theory. And maybe the reason we don't know, and I'm admitting that I don't know, the reason we don't know is because we have a limited perspective. Every single one of us has only one lifetime's worth of perspective. And that's all I'm ever going to get. That's all you're ever going to get. And that's why we have to come together and share our own experiences. But not only share our experiences, but to be critical of ideas, to pick them apart and to investigate their legitimacy. So when it comes down to it, what is the fatal flaw of those who are members of a cargo cult? Well, one could argue that in building these airstrips, in building these bamboo airplanes, in marching around and doing these ritualistic military marches that they don't even understand the meaning of, and don't even understand why we as Americans do it, waving the flag, all these things that these people are doing, by logic, and we all know this, is not going to bring those people more aid, just in partaking in what they think are our American rituals. So, do we do that at all? I mean, do we just do shit for the sake of doing it because we think it's gonna bring us salvation? I'm the Rock and Roll Reverend. Like, share, and subscribe.